Kar98k, the rifle that survived hell. It didn't fire in bursts, it didn't hold 10 rounds, and it didn't forgive mistakes when reloading. But it became a symbol of survival. In trenches, in snow, in the dust of advancing tanks, where everything broke down, it kept firing. Karabiner 99 Kurz, Kar98k, the rifle that survived hell. It started with the Gewehr 89, Germany's standard rifle since 1898. Long, heavy, built for 19th century warfare. It served through World War I, but for modern combat, it was outdated. Between the wars, German gunsmiths didn't start from scratch. They refined what already worked. The Gewehr 98 was shortened, rebalanced, simplified. In 1935, the Kar98k was born, Kurz, meaning short. It quickly became the Wehrmacht's standard issue rifle. This was no compromise. The Kar98k was built with engineering discipline. Every line, every part, designed for mud, blood, and ice. Its core was the legendary Mauser bolt, straight, strong, and reliable. It locked with a sharp click. It cycled clean even when dry. It worked when oil froze solid. You didn't baby this rifle. The bolt could be slammed open with your palm and shut with your fist. It loaded from the top using a stripper clip. 5 rounds, 7.92 by 57 millimeter Mauser. A powerful cartridge, flat shooting, deadly out to 600 meters, over 1,000 with a sniper optic. It weighed around 4 kilos, about 9 pounds. Heavy? Yes, but that weight gave it stability, and stability meant accuracy. The stock was hard wood, usually beech or walnut, sometimes with a notch for a bayonet. You could thrust with it, or smash a helmet in close quarters. The iron sights were calibrated up to 2,000 meters. Realistically, 600 was the effective range, but in the right hands, it reached further, especially with the ZF-39 scope. Not every rifle had optics. Sniper Kar98ks were hand-selected, fitted one by one, no mass production shortcuts. Standard rifles came from dozens of factories: Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia, occupied Poland, each one stamped with a code, BIF, DOT, BNZ, so enemy intelligence wouldn't know the source. Later models got even more interesting. Some had the simplified ZF-41 scope. Some were fitted for rifle grenades. Some used stamped parts instead of milled steel. Faster to build, still dependable. Despite cost cuts, Kar98s held together, even in the chaos of 1945. Troops called it simply the Kar. No nickname, no poetry, just trust. The Kar98k marched across every front. Poland, France, Russia, North Africa, the Ardennes. You could bury it in mud, pull it out 2 days later, and fire. Drop it in a stream, dry it near a fire, and shoot again. On the Eastern Front, temperatures dropped below -40 degrees Celsius. Lubricants turned to glue. Soldiers ran rifles dry. The Kar kept working, bolt stiff, but not stuck. Compared to the Soviet Mosin-Nagant, the Kar was shorter, better balanced, more accurate, and easier to operate. In the swampy trenches of Kursk, tanks got stuck, but Kar98k shots still found their mark, from under floorboards, off a trench wall. She never failed. American GIs in Normandy noticed something. German rifles rusted slower, stocks didn't swell, barrels held zero. Let's compare versus the Mosin-Nagant 9130. Both hit hard, but Mosin bolts were rougher, slower to cycle. Kar ran smoother. Versus the Lee-Enfield No. 4. The British rifle was faster, but Kar was simpler and more rugged under field conditions. Versus the M1 Garand, the Garand was semi-automatic and deadly when clean. But in dust and rain, it jammed. Kar didn't. Garand shot faster, but when it jammed, the Kar kept going. One shot, one hit. Veterans said it best. The Kar was the last thing we could count on. Machine guns jammed, grenades failed, but the Kar fired every time. By 1943, German factories were rushing production. Milled parts were replaced with stamped ones. Fancy finishes were gone. The bolt handle turned angular. Washers swapped for bent springs, but it still fired, still hit, still worked. One German engineer said, "If a soldier can strip his rifle in the dark, he'll survive with it." The car stripped easily. Its bolt was intuitive. Its spring didn't fly apart. Its parts didn't jam. And after the war, the car didn't disappear. Israel used them in 1948. Czechoslovakia kept them into the 60s. France issued them in colonial wars. Many were rebarreled, restocked, rebranded. But the core stayed the same. Even today, Kar-98s pop up in Africa, in rural militias, in hunting lodges, and in the hands of collectors. Because this rifle was more than a weapon. It was a machine built with purpose and pride. It wasn't designed to impress or to win medals. It was designed to survive. When others jammed, it fired. When others froze, it moved. When the war got ugly, it held the line. Kar-98k didn't change the course of history. It just refused to stop. It outlived an empire, outlasted the front lines, and still today, it lives. Reliable, unshaken, survivor.